All right. It's Monday, February 8th. I'll call the meeting to order of the Audit Committee. I'll call the roll. Dan Hughes, Chairman. Dick Cody. Here. Lombard. Here. Steele.
Here.
Kilbride. Kirkbride.
Yes.
Kirkbride.
Here.
And John Goggin has an excused absence. And Brian Thomas may or may not show up. Our Finance Director, Walter Pierce, is present. And the Honorable Raymond Murphy. If you will join me with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, nation under God, visible with liberty and justice.
Just, Alder, on the agenda, I realize you weren't able to get a hold of me when you did this, but in general, one on the agenda, after the call order, Pledge of Allegiance, public comment, which we never have any of, but it's we should have it on there. Hopefully somebody will show up someday. And then at the end, members' comments. Okay. So I'm adding members' comments as an agenda item and, at the end of the meeting. First order of minutes will call for the approval of the December 14, 2020 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move the December 14 minutes be approved as presented.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Not call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Minutes are unanimously approved. I'm going to also insert at this time to our agenda, I'd like Ed Lombard to comment on his presentation to the joint committee that they had with the town council. When was that, Ed? Whenever.
It was on January 21st.
January 21. So.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I did appear before the council as a substitute for our august chairman, who was indisposed at the time. And the purpose of the meeting that the council convened was to receive reports from the various town committees on their current activities. I duly reported the addition of Joe Kirkbride and Brian Thomas as new members. I also identified the remaining members of the committee. I also reported on the fact that we had recommended a new wire transfer policy to replace an outdated one. The council, which the council subsequently did approve on the 7th of December. I also reported that we finally rescinded the investment policy that we had recommended several years ago. We did this after with staff persistence, and finally in the third meeting, as we discussed it, he kept hammering at us, and we finally agreed to rescind it on the 30th of November. The council went ahead and we finally recommended it be rescinded, and the council went ahead and did repeal it on the 7th of December. I also reported that we recommended a new financial controls procedure together with reporting and reporting on excess cash. Did that at our December 14 meeting and discussed some of the elements of that new procedure. Finally, I mentioned the fact that we're waiting the results of the current ongoing audit. Walter tells me will be available soon. I want to say, by the way, that Walter Pierce was very helpful in helping me prepare for this meeting, gave me some excellent background information. Other thing you may be interested in knowing is that Councilman Adderholt at this meeting asked me if the audit committee would be interested in doing some sort of budget analysis or budget study or whatever. He just mentioned the word budget. And as a general question, and my answer was, you have to be a little careful because there's a little tension, I think, between auditors and budgeteers. Auditors pretty much look at the way things turned out after the fact. Whether you're doing financial audits or program audits, which we haven't done any of program audits, but program auditing is very much part of what I believe to be a feasible assignment for this committee under the statute. And I just felt I needed to alert the council to at least my reservation about doing carte blanche studies of the budget as it's in preparation, by the way, is what he was referring to before it's presented to the council for approval. Just because of the fact, I think you have to be a little careful about taking substantive positions on budgets if you're going to act independently as some sort of an audit committee, particularly in mind of program audits or our evaluations of the financial audit. With that limitation in mind, I suppose there are ways around. There might be some technical issues, budget issues that wouldn't conflict with that consideration. So I did mention that to the council. That's pretty much it, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you, Ed. Very thorough report. Any comments for Ed or the? All right, we'll move ahead to the update on the.
Dan,
What?
note that Brian arrived.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. For the record, Brian Thomas is now present at the meeting. Okay. Well, he's a Southern Illinois boy. They're a little slow down there, you know. In many ways. All right. Well, welcome. Brian, unfortunately, the only member not here is John Goggin, and he's undergoing some medical treatment, so he's at excused absence, so we wish him well. Walter, you going to take over at the, just an update on the audit? All right, thank you.
Well, do they review your MD&A or approve it or anything, or is that purely yours?
And in my past, that's happened as well, that we typically prepare that, then send it to them, and they will review it. They see that something's wrong, then they will ask us to make a change to it. About 5 or 6 pages.
Chairman.
Yes, and
I did review the engagement letter, which goes back to 2019 with Malden and Jenkins.
Okay?
And this is the second year that Malden and Jenkins has done an audit for us. They did 2019 and now doing 2020. And the engagement letter covers 3, including 2021. Are they for sure going to do the 2021 audit, or how does that work?
They are, I asked the manager on site that exact question, and typically they will send a letter of proposed the next audit, and we'll typically send that to management probably another month or two.
Probably when?
Another month or two from now, once the audit is full.
You do intend to, in other words, this letter of this engagement agreement, is it didn't confirm they would do the third audit, but it put them, at least gave us the right of refusal, I suppose. Huh? Okay, thank you.
I would say, from what was told to me, probably around the June timeframe, that letter of engagement will be sent to us.
I think there are only $1,000 increases per year or something like that in the cost of the audits.
I do want to make one comment. I would like the next audit to be a full CAFR,
full what?
a full financial report so that we can submit for the GFOA award. That's one of the goals that I have. I've achieved that in other municipalities that I've been in. What that is GFOA is a government finance organization. They take that and they review it. And if you fulfill all the qualifications, they give you a certificate. And I think it is something worthwhile to achieve. Gives good recognition to the staff and the town as well.
Is that about the 2021 audit?
Yes.
That's
And
standard in other communities?
yes, it is.
We haven't been doing it apparently, obviously, Denver.
No, but it is something I would like to, you don't have to do it, but it's something I think that would be worthwhile doing.
Why?
Like I said, it's a certificate of excellence. It shows, gives recognition to the finance department, and also it's good recognition for the town.
And I might add, when I was in Indianapolis, we got that every year, and it also could enhance your bond rating.
That is a
see.
good point. I'm glad you brought that up. That is a good point, yes.
What is it called again?
It's called it's just a full-blown CAFR, comprehensive financial report. And right now, this report is just at a minimum of what is required. The CAFR, a full-blown CAFR would include statistical analysis, and actually would probably be 3 times the size of this. It would also...
Would it be 3 times the cost?
Oh, and that's a good point. And that's why I'm bringing it up. It does have a cost to it. Typically, it runs about $4,000 or $5,000. And that's an extra cost for the auditors to help management prepare that document. I'm just throwing it out. You don't have to do it, but I think it is good. It is good recognition.
You say 4,000 or 5,000, you mean in addition to the basic cost of the audit?
Yes.
The basic cost of the audit is about 50,000 hog round, and you're saying another 10%. That's reasonable to me.
Well, we'll address that then when that comes up this spring.
Will they have to know June or whenever we get the engagement update, will they have to know we're going to go for the increased auditing
Yeah, because those costs would have to be in there, and,
You'd have to be planning for that.
right, and the desire, that's what we desire to shoot for. I've just had it, I've done it in other municipalities, did it 4 years in Madeira Beach, and again, I think it's good recognition to the staff, and it's a good certificate of excellence for the town. As Mr. Steele mentioned, it is good for loans and qualifying for loans. It's good information that those people making those decisions need to have.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Dick.
So the auditors do prepare all of the ingredients to this award or this
The statistics,
procedure, and then the auditors review it, or who prepares it?
they do assist in the process. I'll give you an example. There's a section that's a lot of statistical analysis. It's about 20 pages. A lot of that is staff that has to do that and help prepare, do that. Then the auditors do review it. The NDNA analysis, instead of being 4 or 5 pages as it is now, would probably be double that. With more information. And by the way, to meet the certificate, the GFOA has certain guidelines. Sometimes you don't qualify the first year because they indicate, well, you've met all these requirements, but you didn't meet these. So to get it, it's not a given. It's pretty challenging to get it, and there's criteria they use to award that.
Thank you. Any other comments on the status of the audit, or questions about where we are on the audit?
Just to finish up on that,
I'm sorry.
is it part of the audit report that will be viewed by public? I mean, that will be open? Will they understand what they're looking at? All of these statistics and analytics that are in there? I mean, is that meant to be all part of the public domain?
Yeah, it will be on the website along with, when
Okay.
this gets posted on the website.
Right.
That document will be on the website as well. And actually, what I've found in my past, a lot of people, find a lot of those statistics informative. So, beneficial.
It's a separate report from
No,
the
it's-
audit
No,
report.
it's
It's all bound together?
It's all bound together.
Okay.
So, the one I did in Madeira Beach is probably 3 times the size of this.
Right? Actually, anything that's of record, of record here, in our files is in the public domain anyway, so. Anything further on the audit? I will go to the current year update and monthly reports.
Mr. Chairman and committee members, it is normal while preparing the audit that the current year typically falls a little behind a bit. We just get so busy, and that's our main focus, is preparing information for the auditors. So, but now that the audit is winding down and is probably 90% complete, we're now focusing on current year. Our goal is, we have October reconciled, and we're moving on to November and December. And again, this is typical. And my goal is to give you financial reports for October and November very soon, and followed by December and January, and then by that time, we should be caught up. I will tell you at this time, we are short 2 positions. Our HR payroll person left in January, and we have already interviewed for that position. We've narrowed it down to 5 candidates, and we're hoping to make a decision of those 5 candidates in a second interview this week. We have a senior account position. We have 8 candidates that have applied for that, and we're hoping to have a selection by the end of the month. So we have a good team right now. I'm very happy the way things are going. but our team just needs to be tweaked a little bit. Cheryl Manning is doing a good job for us, and trying to get her some help in some of the day-to-day details. And I feel that the senior accountant position will be a valued asset to our team.
Does that replace someone now on the staff?
This was sort of I don't know if the committee members remember Andre, who was here.
Yes, Andre, yes.
This is his position that we are filling.
All right,
So we've gone this,
there's a vacancy now, really, in that, all right.
yeah, so we've gone this period of time without that position being filled, so. Like I said, once those two positions are filled, our team will be complete and running two positions short. I'm very pleased about some of the applicants who have been getting these two positions.
All right. Any questions? How about, and then we'll be getting monthly reports then, starting.
I'm hoping in another week that I can start giving you these monthly reports as we complete them, and all the way up through January, so that we're current. So again, we typically fall behind with the audit because it just requires a whole lot of gathering of information, and when they are here, it demands a lot of our time. The current year has suffered a little bit, but we will get caught up.
Well, as of now, though, nor the town council has not received any monthly report. You're not getting any, right?
The last report that was given was September, which was unaudited. And again, going forward in the very near future, I want to get October, November done, submitted, and December and
Well, yeah,
January.
you indicated that, but I'm saying, as of yet, the town council has not received any.
No.
We hope we can get on board with that as soon as you can.
I don't know that those have to be audited, do you, Dan?
Pardon?
I don't know that those have to be audited, do you?
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, but a monthly report, yeah.
Yeah, just,
All right, Walter, thank you. Any questions, gentlemen?
A last question on the audit. The MD&A is drafted and edited and so on. When do you expect we'll see a draft audit report from?
I'm sorry, I thought I mentioned that. We're aiming for mid to late March, having the audit done and submitted to council approval. All right, I didn't mention that.
Any other questions or comments? If not, we'll go to next agenda item, which is fiscal year 21 water and stormwater status.
I thought this was beneficial. We had a meeting with Angie Brewer, and they provided this document, which I thought would be good information regarding the loans. And these are cumulative. This is based on or through the first quarter of this fiscal year. These numbers are cumulative, and I just thought there'd be good information for the committee to review. And again, this is an intent to provide fiscal information to the committee as we go forward. So just to give you this information and make it available for you.
I don't see a date on here, Walter. What is this, as of when are these requests?
It was presented at the January 26th meeting that we have with them, but it is through the first quarter, so it would be information as of and I'm sorry this isn't on there, but it would be as of the end.
It's through December 30th, in other words.
Yes, yeah.
The close of the last fiscal year.
The first 3 months of
first
this fiscal year.
I thought you said September.
Fiscal year starts in October.
December, yeah.
It would
You
be
said
through
this
the
is through the first quarter, right?
first quarter of
First quarter.
FY '21, which is through December 30th.
Yeah. Sorry. All right.
And And if going forward, any of the members of the committee have any questions on any of this, they can.
What is the subject matter of 360-800?
Sorry, one more time?
Phone number DW 360-800. What does that cover? Stormwater or,
The first two are drinking water, and the third one is the stormwater. I'm sorry, I should have labeled this better. The DW is drinking water,
oh, okay, I could have figured that out.
SW is stormwater.
Uh-huh.
Sorry about that.
And I had a question.
Certainly.
What do you anticipate as far as future loan requests for drinking water and stormwater?
There is another loan for drinking water that's being proposed and submitted to go forward with the project.
Approximately how much?
Approximately about 20 million.
20 million?
Again, some of the details on that are still in the works.
And anything on stormwater?
Not till I'm aware of right now.
So, dispersed to date means dispersed from the state to Fort Myers Beach. Dispersed, does that mean that we have spent those funds? What does dispersed mean in this table? Dispersed to date.
They're the amounts that we have dispersed and received reimbursement.
We paid those funds out.
Right. And, and the whole, the whole idea of this is to make sure that our vendors cash their checks quickly so that we can submit reimbursement. When you submit reimbursement, they want proof that the payments have been paid, but also cashed. So
Also what?
also cashed and cleared our bank account. So, we really need a quick turnaround, not only in payment, but, in proof that the vendor has cashed that check in order to provide all the documentation that we need for reimbursement.
Who wants that proof?
The state, in order to reimburse us. Again, so that's the canceled checks is the proof of payment, and that we actually did pay that out.
What's that, we got that consultant that reviews, what's the name, that we hired, that's,
This is from the consultant Angie Brewer. This is,
yeah, Angie Brewer,
and they do prepare the reimbursements for us.
yeah.
So we get the canceled checks, and we get that backup, we send it to them, and they prepare the reimbursement.
Remember, we approved, recommended a contract with Angie Brewer sometime back to review the disbursements to see that they meet the state requirements, basically, right?
Right. And by the way, I'll mention too, Angie Brewer has provided a lot of information and very helpful to me, educating me in all of this, and also in gathering the information that we've needed for the audit. The auditors want the total retainage and figures regarding retainage that we've held and released as projects have been completed or phases. And, they've been just a tremendous help with providing figures for us and the auditors as well. So the value of the service that they provide is very beneficial. In fact, I wish we had them when I was at Bear Beach. They provide a great function.
I'm glad to hear that. I wasn't overly enthusiastic about that arrangement in the beginning, but I guess it's working out fine.
So I'm looking at this table, Walter, which is very informative. So can I conclude then that we have borrowed a little over $28 million for the water project?
Yeah, if you're adding that 17 and the 11, yes.
from the revolving fund? Are those, is that the only source of funds, or are we using some tax revenues or the water? I guess the water,
It's all geared
water
toward-
fees are for the reimbursement to the revolving fund, huh?
Right, and a lot of it is coming from the study that was done, the water rate study that was done that coincides with this. That water rate study that was done verifies that what we're getting back, what we're getting in is also helping some of these numbers.
So we've borrowed from the revolving fund, hog around $28 million for the water project.
in the state, yeah.
And did you say there's another loan pending?
20 million.
Yes, that is pending, and some of the details of that right now are, I would have to get more information on that.
That would make the project almost a $50 million project?
I'm assuming so. Again, I would have to get some more information
Sound
on
right,
that.
Jim?
I can update the committee at the next meeting on that.
What,
If that's
does
what-
anybody, what's the estimate for the water project?
I was thinking it was around 40 million. That was several years ago.
What about, and so what about the stormwater project? We've borrowed from the revolving fund 13.5 million. What's the estimate for that one, Walter?
I'd have to get back to the committee on that as
Can
well.
you remember?
I was thinking it would be around 30 million
The stormwater.
on water.
We're talking 70 million total.
As I recall, yes.
And the only source of funds we're using, just bear with me. The only source of funds we're using to finance this construction that Fort Myers Beach is using anyhow is this state revolving fund. Is that right?
Right, and
Correct.
And the water fees, go ahead, Jim, I'm sorry.
Except for way back when, we did use general fund
Yeah,
and
that-
gas tax money.
Yeah, yeah. And that got people really upset, I guess, after the fact. Of course, in addition to all this, we have the county and state are funding some of this, for some of this project. No,
revolving fund, yes.
And the county
county,
paying a portion of the cost for the outfalls.
yeah. And that's when that affects the stormwater, but that's their piece, that's not our piece. And this project is supposed to be done when? This year? Isn't 2021 the target date for finishing Estero?
I heard, but
Again?
that's what I heard. I don't know where I heard it, I mean,
Oh, the 2021 has been known for quite some time, and it's,
Manager
part of-
told us that at the last meeting. We're on schedule to finish at the end of 2021. It was relayed to us by Roger.
how are we gonna spend, the rest of the $70 million?
That is just Estero Boulevard, 2021. It's
that's-
Estero Boulevard only. Doesn't count the side
The
streets.
Estero Boulevards were all, that has all the freshwater lines, all the stormwater lines. It's just the outfalls going up and down into the bay and so forth.
There's side streets to be done
Big part of the
in
job.
addition to that.
That's not a 2021, really.
No.
Yeah, what it can't be if we have all this additional money that we're thinking of spending, and, we're only, 2/3 of the way there in terms of the funding we have. 70 million, we have 28, 38, 41 million, 4/7. A long way to go.
That additional 20 million, you say, Walter, you're not really too clear on exactly what infrastructure that relates to.
I would have to get more details on, able to provide that to the next committee meeting. I'm just indicating that that's in the process.
The council's dealing with that, I assume, right? Are there any other questions? Thank you, Walt. This was a very informative
Yeah, this is really good.
report.
Yeah.
I believe, in my view. Okay.
You're gonna, just one more question, Dan. Are you gonna, update this for us, every month, every quarter, or whatever?
I can, yes?
Yeah, I wish you would.
That would be good.
Yeah,
It'll be helpful.
Okay.
Suggestion.
yeah.
All right.
You will take a note of that, Walter.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anything further on the water or stormwater? That concludes our formal agenda. There's no one from the public here. And how about any members' comments? Anything, any?
Just to confirm the next meeting, March 8th?
I assume we are going to have a meeting in March, and it'll be at our regular, the first,
Second Monday?
second Monday in March,
Yes.
which is March 8th, Dick?
Yes.
You won't, Walt, will you have a draft report at that time, or is that too early?
I think that's too early. I would like to, but probably pushing it a little bit.
We can, at some point, are we gonna be talking to these auditors, or is that on the agenda, or what?
That's a good point. I think what's planned is that we present the draft audit to the committee. And
With the auditor?
The auditor's present, or
if you'd like the auditor, I can try to,
We would.
what's been the prior procedure? Have they?
Yes.
Oh, I think that would be good, yeah.
is that what happened last year?
We've had that before. I don't know if it happened last year.
It
but
didn't
I know-
happen last year. It happened in previous years.
That's happened previous years.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you'd want the report prior to it, right? So you could go over it and then have questions for the auditors?
Yes.
Need it
I did mention it to the manager as a possibility, and the manager was receptive that it could be worked out.
Right? Any other comments, questions?
I had one more comment. I would recommend that we get the CAFR. Very, very helpful. Comprehensive annual financial report,
Not this year, though, next, for 2021.
2021.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Seems to me that beyond the significance of the award itself and the prominence of it, that it can be used as a good financial tool for the management, base some of their decisions on. So I think it's a great idea, too.
It's a good point, Mayor.
Walt,
But we'll
last question.
formally make that we'll deal with that, though, as far as formally approving or making a recommendation when we get the proposal from the auditor, total proposal.
Can I ask
Yes.
one more question? Walt, if we get it next year, let's say, that commit us to always getting it,
No.
or always paying extra for more audit, or?
Typically, once you start that, it is an ongoing process because, as you keep submitting these, the GFOA keeps giving you new ideas of how you can improve it and make it better. So I would say, once you start it, it's pretty much an ongoing process.
We would be increasing the operating budget, if you want to call it that.
Right.
Well, but on the other hand, 2021 is the last year of the Malden Jenkins engagement. So we're going to be looking for new auditors, not necessarily changing auditors, but a new audit contract after the 2021 audit. So I suppose we or the town can dictate the terms of that audit, however they want, whether it's the CAFR or not.
You may end up finding efficiencies or inefficiencies in that'll offset the cost of
That's true.
of it itself.
But I just want to make sure whether we were permanently,
Well,
or
it-
I
almost
don't think,
permanently.
I doubt you're
increase.
locked into it. I
Well,
don't think you're
It,
locked into
it,
it.
it also keeps the auditors on their toes, because these findings that GFOA has is basically to the auditors, that we want these type of things from you,
Yeah,
not just from
okay.
management. It's directing the auditors, to provide certain things in a certain format. So it's direction to them.
All right. Any other comments from gentlemen?
Chairman, I move we now adjourn.
Motion
Second.
by Lombard,
Second?
seconded by Steele. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimously approved. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen.
Water want to be done by 9:45?